I started seeing your name. I think in the pandemic, I was home more. I was hitting LinkedIn more, and I kept seeing your name. I'm like, this dude has a big following. And I noticed this podcast, Lawyer Stories podcast, which I want to get into with you. Like, what sparked that? Like, why did that start for you?
Let's be honest. Lawyer Stories did not start as the LLC it is. I mean, Lawyer Stories started as a passion project.
Mm,
It was a very personal project for
mm,
me. It was sort of like, I've been through all this crap. Like I didn't even get a legal job. Like I'm working finally at a housing authority. I have to move states. Like I have my family's over here. I have to move states. I'm a single guy. I gotta like hustle to figure it out. And I've lived all around New England. I'm like, if I have a story like about this, like if this is all part of my story, like other people must have stories, like more
mm-hmm.
impactful and crazier stories, like you, Chris. I don't know if you're familiar with Humans of New York. So
Yeah. It's awesome.
that came across my feed a couple times. I'm like, this is pretty cool. Like
Mm,
I would love to hear lawyers speak like this in the first person, sort of telling a story about their experiences with the law, or like maybe like their favorite case, or like maybe their favorite, constitutional like amendment, and like how it works and like that sort of thing. And so I started with 5 people I knew. I said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I sent out an email with like a little sheet that said, this is what I'm doing. And I went on Instagram, and had a nice photo of the person, and I just started building. I mean, and at the beginning it was just all photos of people and their
mm,
story. Now it's more, there's like, obviously you got to change a little bit with the time. There's reels, there's some like promotions, there's podcasts. But so I just started doing it, and I kept going and I kept going. And people kind of got like, saw what I was doing. They're like, thought it was pretty interesting, wanted
yeah.
to be a part of it. Like, and, I used that. People were sending me the email with their photo, their story,
Mm,
their location. And I don't know, for some reason, I felt an instant connection with people who were sending me their stories. We've posted over 2,500, maybe 3,000 now. And so I felt connections with like, or at least I did. I don't know if they did, but I loved being able to just like, reach back out to these people. Or if I heard of something in their area, I'd be like, hey. And so that's how it's sort of transpired. Like it sort of grew that way, and by the time like a few years went by, I was like, I want to take this off the page. I had a little event in Miami, in Brickell, with somebody else who helped me out. Then I started the podcast in 2020. I'm like, I got to take this off the page. Like, and
mm,
once I started being a podcast host, I was like, wow, like I finally
mm.
found something after all these years that I freaking love doing. It just kind of, I don't want to say snowballed, but it
Mm.
kind of just kept going.